So if you're comfortable with the garter stitch, the stockinette stitch, some general ribbing, just really basic knit stitches, and you're ready to look for the next step, something that has a little more structure, texture, potentially some parallel lines in your project, this is a really great stitch to learn. This stitch pattern is worked over an even number of stitches, so you'll cast on any even number to start out your project. And it's pretty versatile. You can use whatever yarn you want. If you like textured yarns, you can experiment with that. I do think it's a little bit better for a smooth yarn because you can really see the stitch pattern that way, but use what you have on hand to work up a little swatch. Go ahead and cast on an even number of stitches. Swing the needle down to catch the loop on your thumb, swing it up to catch the loop on your finger, then release the thumb loop over the tip of the needle. When you have the number of stitches cast on that you need for your project, an even number that is, flip the needle and we'll get to the first row. So for this one, it's really simple. Just knit every stitch. So at the end of the first row, turn your work again. And for the second row, you'll knit 2 together. So to do that, insert your needle through both loops and knit them together as if they were one. And repeat that to the end of the row. So this will decrease your original stitch count by half. And since we cut our stitch count in half, we need to make up for that in the next row. So for row number 3, go ahead and flip your work, and this time you'll KFB, or knit front back, every stitch. So you'll do that for every stitch, and that will return your stitch count to normal. At the end of the third row, your stitch count is back to normal, and we have just one more row in the repeat. Flip your work, and this time, you'll purl every stitch. Those 4 rows make up the pattern repeat for this stitch. So remember, you knit a row, then knit 2 together, all stitches, then KFB all stitches, and finally purl all stitches. When you're working on the odd numbered rows, you're looking at the right side of your work. And when you're working your even numbered rows, you're looking at the wrong side of the work. All right, when you're ready to bind off, you want to start that on a first row. So in my swatch here, I just finished a 4th row. Remember, that's the purl row, and flipped my work. And this will set us up to work just a simple knitting bind off. So for that, knit the first 2 stitches and pass the first loop over the last. Knit the next stitch and pass the first loop over. And keep going until you only have 1 loop left on your needle. Pull up on that loop, trim the yarn, and pull that tail through the loop. Now you'll notice it doesn't exactly lay straight, and that's pretty normal. This stitch is pretty good on the edges. It's pretty straight, right? It's not really rolling there, but it does really like to curl on the top and the bottom. So wet blocking a project worked in this stitch will give you the best results. So that's why I love this stitch so much. Just 4 rows to memorize, a simple bind off, and you can use it in all sorts of projects. I've used it to make a shawl, not a shawl. I've used it to knit up a poncho before and it turned out absolutely gorgeous. I think it would look really great in a sweater too. That's kind of on my bucket list of projects that I want to knit here in the future. But also I'm thinking a blanket. This would make a really, really pretty blanket, baby blanket, throw, like whatever size you want to make. I think it would be gorgeous for that. I'll have the instructions linked in the description below. That'll take you right to my website where you can find the details about the supplies that I used, the needle size recommendation. All of the patterns and the projects that you'll find on this channel can be seen completely free on my website, but I do want to have the option for those who want to have a PDF version or who want to support the channel. That's a great way to do that. So thank you so much if you have bought any pattern in the past or any of our t-shirts or any of our bundles. All of that is an incredible support and it goes a really long way to helping this channel grow. Happy knitting, and I'll see you in the next one.